Hey guys, Mike from blackbearcustomkydex. I have 3 sheath systems to show you. These are all going to Richard out in Albion, I think Indiana, or it's either Indiana or Illinois. So Richard, I'm sorry, I forgot. All right, so these 3 sheath systems will start from the least complex to the most complex. First up, we have a paracord wrapped Esee Izula 1, and great knife. The sheath is really simple. It is a blue with orange. This is police blue and hunter orange, they call it. And he sent me this small ferro rod and asked that to be attached as well. I've used blue and black paracord to hold that on there. Currently it is pretty tight, but as you use the rod, of course, it'll shrink, so it'll be loose, and this shock cord will be necessary to retain it. This rides on a small tech lock. For the record, small tech locks you don't see too often on my channel. Because I think they're honestly a little bit inferior to the large version. They just don't have the locking mechanism. They don't have spacer bars, and they're smaller, so they fit a smaller range of belts. But Blade Tech makes really quality stuff. So if you guys are interested in small tech locks, definitely ask me about them when you go to place an order. I'll give you my full spiel on them, but they are an option. So this guy can ride as it's set up right now for a vertical carry. If you take those screws out and turn it 90 degrees, you can orient it like so for a horizontal carry, or you can span the 2nd to 4th drill hole and carry it canted on your non-dominant side with the handle forward and up for a comfortable cross draw like so. So there we go. No rattle, no play. Little ballistic one-handed draw. Nice positive click. The next knife up, sheath up, whatever you want to say, is the Ontario Spec Plus Machete. Now this thing is funky. It's got a really weird cutout there on the blade. I assume that is to actually help put weight more forward so that it has more of a momentum as you're trying to swing it to chop. But it's reminiscent of like the K-bar, the Becker tack tool. I can't remember which one that is, the BK3 or something. But it's a funky shape. It's got a nice click into place, and it is sporting this Lansky ceramic. I don't know if it's ceramic. I think it's diamond actually. But it's this weird folding diamond sharpener. Locks up like that, and collapses like that. So how this carries is you want to put the hinge into the sheath first from above, and then just keep your skin clear, because these little tabs on the handles will pinch the crap out of your hand or your fingers if you go to put that in there. It's not a particularly tight holder because the axis here, or the hinge, is the tightest or the widest part of it. So I had to make the whole thing wide enough so that you could pass that through. But it doesn't seem to want to rattle much or have a lot of play unless you invert it and shake it like that. So carrying it vertically, I don't think you'll have any issues with that whatsoever. He asked for this to be on a large tech lock, so we've got it there. It is set up so that it can carry horizontal, vertical, or canted for a comfortable cross draw. And this one has a little bit of a friction point because of the shape here, this grind on the blade. When you get it into that point at the bottom of the sheath, you hit this little stopping point. Now this actually happens before the handle is making any contact with the sheath. You can see a total separation there. It was something I worked on a little bit, but unless I flare the whole tip of the sheath out and allow there to be a rattle in the tip, there's no way around that. So you'll just hit that one little slight spot of friction before the knife seats fully in there, and that's it. But the knife isn't going to go anywhere. It's got a really good hold in there, no rattle, no play, and it's still a pretty smooth draw. What I would recommend, though, because it does happen both directions that you hit that spot, so unless your thumb is really long and can overcome that like so, what I would recommend is that you use the thumb ramp coupled with actually actively drawing the sheath out with your hand and arm. It feels, you don't really feel that break, that friction break in there. It's just very smooth, so it's a nice little setup. Alright, so there we go, the Ontario Spec Plus. Now this thing is also ambidextrous. I meant to say that about the Izula. You can actually take the tech lock and move it to either side. I would leave the ferro rod exactly where it's at, exactly how it's mounted. but you can move that tech lock to either side and get all 3 positions for either hand. Same thing with the Spec Plus. You can do all 3 positions for either hand, and this Lansky holder will absolutely come off and work perfectly horizontal or parallel with the knife, rather, on the other side of the sheath. So that's that. The last one, I'm going to give just a really quick rundown, and then I'm going to shoot a separate video to showcase it because it is that complex. This thing is a Tops Steel Eagle 107C. So this is the Charlie class. We've got a Benchmade Hidden Canyon Hunter, an Esee AH1 Arrowhead, Exotech Fire Rod, Titan, Surefire Titan. I keep calling this a Streamlight. Surefire Titan flashlight, a Lansky LCD02 tactical sharpening rod, small Altoid tin holder, and an Armor Light compass. On the back, there are going to be molly locks mounted along the 2 rows that I've just kind of isolated with my fingers there. So these are 1.5 inches apart, and the sheath will hang on molly at this angle. So it's the perfect balance point for what we have going on here with this sheath. I'm just trying to keep it upright with my thumb in the back, but you can see it's balancing really nicely on those 2 points. So that's what we have here. Stick around for a separate video, or look the video up if you want, but I'm going to give a real quick, I'm going to give an in-depth look at this thing in a separate video. So guys, if you like these sheaths, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you like the channel, subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what you think of these knives. Let me know what you think of these sheaths. And of course, I appreciate you sticking around for 7 minutes of my rambling. Tune in for the next one. God bless.